Good morning everyone and welcome to today's iRacing video. We're here at the Okayama International Raceway Circuit. We're about to get underway with our last quarter formation lap. I'm just going to have one final sip of my morning coffee.
The track temp is 29 Celsius, P11. Follow car number 11 in the left column.
So it's been a bit of a rough week in terms of racing here at Okayama. Pretty well every single time down at that hairpin. Some guy just out judges his braking and just uses my bumper to practice a little bit of Morse code. And it pretty well ends my race. So hopefully this one goes a little bit better. It's not a full lap formation, full lap formation lap. It's just like the last 3 laps.
Go, go, go!
On your left.
Looks like P4 has binned it in.
Ooh.
Williams.
Clear left.
Well, that was a crazy start to that race. Unfortunately, one of my earlier races,
Well done, Oliver. Good start.
where I did get punted off just here at the bottom at the hairpin, I stupidly forgot to untick tyres. So after fighting my way back through the pack from 18th all the way back up to, I think it was 9th or 10th place, I had a 40-second pit stop, which pretty well just put me straight back to where I was. I think I dropped all the way back to 16th again, which completely sucked and was demoralising. So hopefully today's race goes a bit better. So as we get underway here, guys, if you do like the content that you're seeing on the channel at the moment, please consider giving a like, a subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Just helps get the channel a little bit more out there and get a few more eyes on the videos.
P5.
So I qualified, I think it was P10 or P11 with a car number of 15. I got one good lap in, like one clean lap. It was 30 or 30, low 31. But unfortunately, coming out of the first corner, I just got a little bit of front end understeer and pushed me off and dropped a single mark, which sucked. And invalidated that second lap. However, it was still a pretty good lap. That contact with that Ferrari in the first corner kind of sucked. However, if I can just keep it to a 4 to 6 incident point kind of race, I would hope that that would result in the positive safety rating increase. Okayama's a pretty lenient track in terms of incident points for going off tracks and stuff like that. So if you do get an incident point,
Left side.
oh,
Still there. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
P3.
what was that yellow BM doing? Well, so much for keeping that to a 6 incident point race. Hopefully we can push out a little bit of a gap to Fidel.
Let's see how wide you can make this thing.
So I think
Faster than us into the hairpin.
So my first Okayama video went live earlier this morning. I scheduled it for upload, hopefully to release it with the best quality I possibly can. However, I think in that video I noted that it was a pretty quiet week with motorsport, but turns out that is just frankly not the case. MotoGP is racing this weekend, as well as the Indies. I think Romain Grosjean got his first pole in only his third IndyCar race, which is a great result. In terms of MotoGP, I didn't really follow it too much, but I did see that Marquez went down in final practice 4. And I think it's pretty sad to see he really has just fallen out of touch and fallen out of sync with that bike after his big shoulder injury that he had, which sucked because that guy really did just see the Matrix on a motorbike. So yeah, if anyone is interested in watching any of those car races and motorbike races, those are live this weekend. We've had no Formula 1, no V8 supercars, no NASCAR or anything like that else floating around, or endurance championships. So again, we're going to try run this stint as late as we possibly can, hopefully pitting between like 42 and 33 and 34 minutes into the race, just to ensure we can do a smaller stop as possible.
Your lap time was at 1:31.39. Sector 3 is 0.7 off the pace.
We're lapping pretty consistently with Fidel behind, as I'm sure you guys can see in the top left hand of your screen. As I cross over the start finish line straight, I'll give you my lap times relative to all the other cars as they cross over the start finish line. It'll give me like a little blip up there and will tell me what their lap times were.
Okay, Oliver, we think our refueling window will open after 27 minutes and closes at about 34 minutes.
We are for sure acting like a little bit of a cork in the bottle for these cars. However, they need to put on a clean move in order to get past me. Or do what everyone does when you're at this 1.3 to 0.7 kind of KI rating, is just slam it up the inside and whatever happens, happens.
The leader has just done a 129.88.
Vidal's made a massive mistake.
The gap in front has increased to 10 seconds.
I wonder if you can, if it's possible to get a slow...
I think P2's binned it in. Williams.
I wonder if it's possible to get a slowdown there at that last corner, and that is what is... That's why that yellow car dropped as much time as he did on the straight. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it, because Vidal completely dropped off the face of the planet coming onto that back pit straight. For the people that do use iRacing services and do race, if you do get a slowdown penalty, you don't have to serve it right then and there. You can try use it in an advantageous manner. So when you're approaching a corner, you can lift off the throttle, and that will also count towards your slowdown. You just have to make sure you do it within your, I think it's like 30 seconds, a lot of time to serve it. Which on this track you can passively like slow down and not have it affect you too much pretty easily. little bit of bumping and grinding going on between Andrew and Wayne.
All right, Oliver, your lap times are pretty consistent.
So Andrew was the car in second place. There must have been a bit of a coming together between Gaston and Andrew through that third to fourth corner, second, third or fourth corner. That's sweeping left-hander. These guys were lapping in the mid 29s, so I'm not gonna.
Car left. Hold your line. Clear left.
Okay, stay with him.
Yeah, hopefully I can just stay in Andrew's slipstream for a little while and
P3, that was a 131.86.
pull out a gap to Wayne and the gaggle of cars behind. And who knows, given if I can stay close, if there is another coming together between Andrew and Gaston, maybe I can profit off it a little bit. I don't seem to be holding too much damage, so it may have just been like a front left coming together with the rear of one of the cars, resulting in a spin around. And I have a feeling that it may have been the car in second place causing the accident, only because both of them got away very similarly. So potentially a little bit of sportsmanship there, showing like, oh yeah, I made a mistake, I'll wait for you to get back, I'm not gonna hit you off and then just take the lead and run away with it, kind of thing. But I do love racing at Okayama, and I did say that at Phillip Island towards the end of it. However, this one here I could probably race pretty well all the time and have fun. Because I feel like just when you feel like you've learnt the track, you somehow magically find a new line that will save you 2 or 3 tenths of a second on the delta. And there's just always ways to be improving around this track. It's a very fast, flowy kind of track with not too many big braking zones, which does potentially make it hard for overtaking, but it also is very conducive to nice, tight racing. And it really does promote smart overtaking, because you have to set your moves up 3 or 4 corners in advance, get that momentum through and get a run on someone onto the few short straights that there are. So Andrew is very slowly pushing that gap up, out, and away. However, we are also, Fidella's gotten back past again. However, we are very slowly, gradually pushing that gap out to the cars behind as well. So I think they might be stuck in a very heated battle, given that there's only half a second between the 3 of those cars. I'm sure they are slowing each other down and tripping over one another.
Gap in front is now 2.8 seconds. The gap to Rutledge behind is now 2.7.
Pretty sure next week we're heading to the fastest track on the Formula One calendar, which is the Monza GP track, which will be
You've just done a
very
31.46.
It'll be a very crazy race because that first chicane is always problems. So I think qualifying there will be paramount, only because you really don't want to be caught up in any of the dramas or people trying to be heroes into the first corner trying to make up 20 freaking positions. But we'll just have to roll with it. I think because it's such a full throttle tank, I think in the Formula One calendar you spend over 75% of the time full throttle around the track. It's going to be pretty hard on fuel, so it'll be a little bit different in terms of fuel strategy and race strategies. Fidel is very rapid, he's catching up. But I'm going to fight very hard to keep my final podium position. Do not want to give this one up easily. He's going to have to fight me for it. The guys up ahead made a bit of a mistake, but it's about 1.5 seconds between the two again. So I think Andrew is the quicker of the two cars. I'd be curious to look back at the footage after the race, like for my own reasons, and see if Andrew was the lead car or Gaston was the lead car.
You've got half your fuel left.
But I think prior to the incident, whoever was the lead car had about a 1.5 second gap and it was slowly eking itself back out. Whereas now it seems to be the inverse. I also think given the damage I have on my car, I might be lightly hindered on the straights, allowing Fidel to catch back up to me. Oh, yeah, I'm gone here. Fidel's got me 100%. He's going to be clear of me before we even reach the corner.
Still there. Hold your line, clear right.
P4. Come on, Oliver. Don't let him get away.
Silly mistake on my
Your lap
part.
times are dropping off. Come on, stay focused.
Silly mistake on my part. Allowed Fidel to get straight past me on the straight. Should focus less on what's going on in my mirrors and more so on what is happening on the track ahead. And it's allowed Davis to catch up too. So Vidal does take a pretty wide lines for these corners. I'm not sure if that's just a trade of
Nice one, Oliver. This is terrific. Exactly what
that
we came here
BMW.
for. 20 minutes remaining. You've got 20 minutes left. P3. We're halfway home. We think
also
about 13 minutes of fuel remaining.
Might be different driving styles as well.
On your right. Clear right.
But I am able to hold a little bit tighter line.
Good work, mate. Keep it up.
That was a good overtake and very good of Fidel as well. He was slow and he didn't try to cut in front of me or anything like that. He just stayed off wide and he's going to have to work back through the pack. Oh, what happened to Gaston? We are now somehow in P2 as opposed to being fighting for P3, P4 with Vidal. We've gotten all the way up to P2.
The gap in
Gaston
front is increasing. It's now 8.6 seconds.
has either made a mistake or pitted early, which I feel like I would still see him. On my track map if he had done that. Due to the gap being not super high. Let's see if we spot his name through the pits as we go through on the relative. No, because no one's in the pits currently.
Don't let this guy distract you. We're quicker than you, entering Redman Corner, P2. That last lap was a 131.77.
I don't know where Redman Corner is, mate. I say it now, but I think these cars would be pretty fun around the Bathurst track. However, Bathurst is a very unforgiving kind of track, and to run for 30-40 minutes and make one silly mistake and be completely out of the race or irreparable damage would suck completely. But that is the same with realistically any road course. Is the inherent and immediate danger of racing where on tracks where walls are just there. You make one slight misjudgment or going just slightly too hot, you can very easily end your race of other people, and come unstuck. So we're approaching about 10 minutes before my pit stop, and I just want to double check.
There's an incident in Williams.
It's definitely not Andrew who made a mistake. May have been a back marker potentially. That was a good sequence there through that first sector. But yeah, we are one mistake away from letting Fidel and Davis through, which I think are pretty on par with my pace. So I feel like it would be very difficult. Like, they're dependent on me making a mistake in order to get through. I think I'd be very dependent on them making a mistake in order for me to get back through. So, yeah. But there are sections in certain corners where I am faster than the both of them. I do just have my car placement in all just the right places.
10 minutes of fuel remaining.
But that being said, they're both very respectful drivers. They give plenty of professional courtesy and racing room. Especially on the chance that they do make a mistake, they're not cutting back across the track trying to slow you down or stop you. They just be like, oh yeah, made a mistake, I'm going to do my best now to get back past.
Williams, it looks like Thompson.
So John D. Thompson made a mistake.
Incident in Moss S. It looks like it's Thompson. Your lap time was 1:31.50.
Very defensive through there, and that cost me a lot of time, like 0.4 of a second. but I had no doubt that if I gave Davis that line, he was gonna just stick his nose up there, and I didn't want to risk getting a tap.
All right, Oliver, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes. This is excellent, mate. Keep it up.
So I'm going super defensive here. And just one thing, like, I know it is costing me time by running that defensive line, but by making my intentions quite clear to Davis behind, being like, yeah, I'm going to run a shallow line here, I'm going to run a defensive line, it just means that he's not...
Car right. Clear
He's
right.
not worried.
Car right. Clear right.
Come on, don't let him get away.
He's not concerned about what I'm doing. He is just focused... He's just focused on making and hitting his
First
line.
corner. We think it might be Aruju.
Yeah, he's not concerned about what I'm doing. He's not concerned about, is he gonna
P3.
pull out a defensive move right at the last minute? No, he knows, oh, well, he's made his intentions very clear. He's going defensive. He's not going to let me through. So he can then adjust his line, adjust his braking, adjusting acceleration point and turning points, so we don't get into each other's way and we're not tripping over each other. And chances are, if you do, so where we are, all of us are under immense pressure. I know that if I make a mistake, Fidel's going straight past me, and I know if Davis makes a
Defend
mistake,
hard. Make them work for it.
and if Davis makes
First corner.
a mistake, that I'm going straight past, and potentially Fidel as well. So if you just do put that inherent strong defense up, chances are the lead car will make a mistake. They'll outbrake themselves ever so slightly. They'll go too slow through a corner. Especially if you follow them for a few laps, you'll work out there's certain spots where they're defending where I could potentially exploit that and get a run on them.
The track temperature is increasing. It's now 32 Celsius.
We are very rapidly catching up to these back markers as well.
Sectors 2 and 3 are 0.5 off the pace. You're 0.2 off the pace in Sector 1.
And I'm quite impressed because I just watched 2 consecutive laps where into that second or third corner, Davis drops a wheel into the grass. And typically when you do that and apply the brakes, your car is very happy to just let go and pretty much snap the car 90 degrees to the left, because the brakes take the path of least resistance. So Gaston did pit very early. You see him there, he's just popped back up on my relative about 18-19 seconds down the track. Oh, very slow through there. As well as the car was not very happy that I did that and chucked itself into like a slide. It got very squirrely trying to slow me down. So we are approaching that pit window. We're about 4 or 5 minutes away from jumping into the pits. And then it's just a last 5 to 10 minute dash, or 5 to 7 minute dash.
Okay, Oliver. We estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
To the line, which, given how these guys have been, will be 5 to 7 minute dash to the line. I do hope Fidel doesn't
There's an incident in Redman Corner.
Still don't know where that corner is, mate. You can keep screaming it out, but I don't know where it is.
You've got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes to go.
So Fidel dropped off by a few tenths of a second there. He must have potentially made a mistake going into that hairpin because I saw him brake very, very early, or potentially he just doesn't want to follow me in that capacity.
The leader's pitting now.
I'd be curious to see.
B2.
Curious to see, relative to myself, where these two guys pits, whether they go one lap later and try to fuel save their way through it, or whether they hit the same lap we do and we just continue to battle for the next 8-9 minutes. That was the best run I've had onto the straight this whole race. So by the looks of it, John D's not making things super difficult for people to get past him, which is good.
It's smooth. No mistakes.
And they'll call me into the pits at the end of the next lap. Hopefully we can round John up on the straight. Yep, they will 100% call me in at the end of this lap. I might even struggle to make it back.
We're running on fumes, mate. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Box this lap.
Oh, slow through here. By the looks of it though, Fidel was as well. Andrew jumped Gaston. Gaston must have had repairs or something because he's 6 seconds adrift. That corner does never end, or that's how it feels
2
at least.
meters left.
So typically I ship down into first gear there just to help get the car rotated. However, I'm staying in second, so being in a higher gear burns less fuel. So just thinking, oh, maybe I stay in this higher gear will allow me to save a little bit more fuel.
Pit lane speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. There's an incident in Williams. The leader, Ford, is pitting. Okay, Oliver, we'll fill you to the end of the race.
So Ford was extremely cautious through there.
1 litre remaining. There's a car approaching. Don't cross the white line. Watch your mirrors. P5.
We got Alexander for company. And that's unfortunately
5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. Looks like the leader's binned it in Redman corner.
what does suck about racing against racing at a track with multiple different pit stop strategies is there is always a chance to make up for a deficit or like a bad start in the pits if you are especially good at saving fuel, or you get into
Right side, clear
clean,
right.
clean air and are able to just run on your own kind of thing and just punch in some real good lap times. However, what does suck about it, unfortunately, is you get used to racing against certain cars. So like, I know exactly how Davis is going into key corners, whereas Alexander doesn't. So chances are he might throw a move that he's been able to throw all race, or take a line that he may have been able to take all race, but unfortunately now can't. And the same with me.
To push if we're going to hold this position.
On your left, clear left.
So you see there, I saw Alexander went way over to the right, and that signifies that he is getting very racy, feeling very much so like he wants to attack.
Left side, clear left.
Come on, don't make it easy
So
for him.
that is a
Make it go the
testament
long way round.
to Alexander's.
Atwood curve.
He's making his moves quite clear on exactly what he is trying to do, and that he's flashing the lights, he's getting on him and letting me know, mate, I'm trying to get past you however I can and wherever I can. So that's why I'm going to go very defensive for the next, what will effectively be most likely 2 laps. So there'll be this one and then one more after it.
Car left. Hold your line. Clear left.
Sector 1 is 4.6.
On your left. Clear left.
Bad luck, Oliver. Come on, don't let him get away.
So that was, I did get out of the way there just purely so he didn't force the issue.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go. That's 5 minutes of fuel left.
So yeah, unfortunately, Alexander was a much quicker racer, and he must have played his strategy perfectly well.
Williams. P5, one more to go. You've just done a 133.01.
So Alexander did make a big mistake there into turn 3, turn 4, and I was able to close back up. However, he does just have a lot more pace than me on the track, which does suck, but that's... Went deep into there. Never typically done that. So guys,
Looks like the leader has gone off in
P5.
first corner.
P5, very good result, very strong result considering how crazy the start was, and I'm very happy with that result. So what we're going to do is, guys, we're just going to park it up just here, and we're going to get into the results. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to get into the results here quickly, and then we'll go on from there. So 1056 strength of field, 2 splits, bottom split. Safety rating decrease of 0.03, however a big I rating increase of I rating increase of 64, taking us close to 1200 I rating. So we had a start position of 11th and got up to 5th. That's a great result. 8 incident points, most of them came from those first few laps, which sucked, but oh well. Davis was able to keep it completely clean. Gaston and Andrew did get a bit dirty there. But yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed the video, please consider giving a like, a subscribe, a comment. Check out the Twitter in the description down below, and we'll catch you in the next race. Bye.